Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Radha Vallabha Sri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Prala Narsimhadev Prala Narsimhadev Prala Narsimhadev Prala Narsimhadev Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Sri Sri Gauritai ki Sri Sri Radhol Bhagwan ki Sri 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 Jagannath Valad Subhadramaya ki Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaur Pranade So, Hare Krishna. So, today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 5, verse number 45. So, this verse actually talks about, describes the eagerness of devotees to see lotus face of Supreme Lord. So, all the devotees are so eager. And today that is reflected. We see so many devotees today compared to yesterday or the other last week. And so many devotees are eager. They have come to temple to have darshan, the darshanarti of Lord. So similarly, today we have got a verse from Lord Brahma and other demigods who are praying to Lord Vishnu. And this verse demonstrates this eagerness and how eager they are to see lotus face of Supreme Lord. So let us read this verse number 45. I hope the verse number 45 is written on the board, correct? First we read word by word, so then we read the full verse statement by statement. Sa tvam na darshaya atmanam asmat karana gocharam prapananam didriksunam sasmitam te mukambujam. Satam na drashtatmanam satam na drashtatmanam asmat karana gocharam asmat karana gocharam prapananam didriksunam prapananam didriksunam sasmitam te mukam ambujam sasmitam te mukambujam satam na drashtitatmanam satam na drashtitatmanam asmat karana gocharanam prapananam didriksumnam susmitam te mukambujam satam na drashyatmanam asmat karana gocharam prapananam didriksunam sasmitam te mukambujam. Prabhus. Satam na drashyatmanam karana gocharam Mataji's. Spritam te mukam bhojam. So word to word translation. Sa, he, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tvam, you are my Lord. Na, to us. Darshaya, be visible. Atmanam, in your original form. Asmat Karana Gocharam, appreciable by our direct senses, especially by our own eyes. Prapananam, we are all surrendered unto you. Dadriksunam, yet we want to see you. Sasmitam, smiling. Te, your. Mukha ambujam, lotus-like face. Translation. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are surrendered unto you. Yet we wish to see you. Please make your original form and smiling lotus face visible to our eyes and appreciable to our other senses. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The devotees are always eager to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His original form, with smiling lotus-like face. They are not interested in experiencing the impersonal form. The Lord has both impersonal and personal features. The impersonalists have no idea of the personal feature of Lord, but Lord Brahma and the members of his disciplic succession want to see the Lord in his personal form. Without a personal form, there can be no question of a smiling face, which is clearly indicated here by the words of Sasmitam te mukam ambujam. Those who are in the Vaishnava Sampradaya of Brahma always want to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are eager to realize the Lord's personal feature, not the impersonal feature. As clearly stated here, Asmat Karana Gocharam, the personal feature of Lord can be directly pursued by our senses. Om Ajnana Trivindasya Jnananjala Salakaya Chaksurunimitamena Tasme Sri Guruve Namaha Namo Mishtupadaya Krishnapadaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamine Namaste Sarasdevi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachata Deshatarani Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this verse clearly mentions about the desire of devotees and their eagerness to see Supreme Lord. So this is the prayer by Lord Brahma and by demigods, devatas. So I see many of you are there today, and some of you seems to be coming first time, not that much regularly for Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class. So therefore, let me give just very quick summary of what happened so in the previous verses in this chapter. So, we have different Manus. So, there was a sixth Manu. So, during that period, so Lord Indra, so he was going on his Airavata. Airavata is elephant. And he happened to come across Durvasa Muni. So at that time, Durvasa Muni was wearing very beautiful garland, just like this garland. So when he saw Lord Indra, so he immediately removed his, and then he has thrown him. So this Indra has cast, and then instead of putting on his neck, he put it on that elephant. I know elephant, you know how it is. So it can behave sometimes randomly. He just took that elephant, then, did like this and thrown it away. Not only thrown it away, it went and with its foot crushed it. So this was seen by Durvasa Muni. Now you can imagine what happens. Durvasa Muni, well known to be short-tempered. Suppose if he feels thirsty, and then, so he may not ask for water, but he expects you to know that he is thirsty, you must give water. But by mistake, if you drink, take yourself and drink, not offer to Durvasa Muni, he can curse you. And we have many examples where he curses very severely. To an extent, he can remove his hair, then create a demon and make the devotee kill. Of course, he was unsuccessful. There was a case of Amrish Maharaj. Now coming to this Indra case. So he was very angry. Not only this Indra is proud, even all the demigods also become now very proud. They are thinking themselves greater than me. So he cursed them. The moment he cursed, as a result, all that the power that the demigods had, Indra, Varuna, Chandra, all of them, they slowly become weakened and weakened. And of course, they were the rulers of heavenly planets. Then obviously, this news goes to opposition party, the demons. So demons thought this is the best time to attack them and then acquire, capture their kingdom. So that's what they did. They did that, then captured, and basically all the devatas become homeless. These days you hear a lot about homeless, correct? So people without home, sometime they are spending time in the car. If they were lucky, you should have a car also to be able to sleep in car. But in case of this demigod, that was very difficult. They didn't have a car because these demons have already taken over the whole kingdom. All the Airavata, the vehicles, whatever each one of them had. So they were helpless. They were thinking what to do. So then they discussed among themselves, either any way we can defeat these demons and take back our kingdom. They couldn't find any pathway because their weapons are not there. Their body has become very weak. And they didn't get prasada also. Imagine, you didn't get prasada for 8 days. And there was not much opportunity to drink water also. So you become very weak. So then decided maybe we go and approach Brahma. He might have some solution. So Brahma is still not under the control of any any demons. Even in case of this Hiranyakashipu was ruling entire universe. Everyone was under his control. Even Narada was under control, except Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma is outside any of these. Okay, so therefore they went to Brahmadev and expressed their situation. So Brahmadev took them to Svetadip. Let's go and pray to Supreme Lord. So he will help us. They did go. But their Supreme Lord is not visible. Just like imagine you come at 6:55, say 6:40, 6:45, you come here, then the temple is not yet open. So still they were in so much of distress. They don't want to wait up to 7 o'clock. They started their prayer. So same thing, it happened. So they started praying to Supreme Lord. And in this verse they are saying, Supreme Lord, please show us your face. So this verse clearly talks about those. So this is where we are. And of course, before they request Lord to show his lotus-like face, they have appreciated Supreme Lord, energies, Supreme Lord capabilities, Supreme Lord qualities, and they appreciated cosmic manifestation, how from Supreme Lord body, So different entities, living entities, demigods, different planets have emanated. And they said, this moon, who gives juice to all the plants from which when we eat, we survive. This is actually vital force coming from whom? Coming from Supreme Lord. This moon is the mind of Supreme Lord. And they appreciate this water as a vital energy. They appreciated air, water energy. They appreciated all of this coming from Supreme Lord. So after that, so in the previous verse, yesterday one, that was discussed about how Supreme Lord acts through his energy. Still he is not attached. Unlike us, we do something, we get recognition and we boast about it. But Supreme Lord is not interested, he is just silent. Even though he is the creator of all entire cosmic manifestation, the creator of all the planets, and who is one able to put each of these planets in their position. Our Earth planet is simply floating. Normally we think, looks like this is stable in some foundation. No, it is just floating in the sky. And then it is in own orbit, rotating, without any disturbance. And how is it being held there? This is by Supreme Lord energy, which is what we call gravitational force. And it is positioned in such a right place. Even if it moves by few meters away, we might experience even extreme heat. Right now we are only experiencing around 45 degree maximum in Australia. Imagine it moves another 100 meters, then we are experiencing 100 degree. What will happen? We will be simply burnt. So even the water, when you go and dip in water in ocean here, that will be boiling. So no shelter at all. So it's very difficult. Anyway, so this is all by Lord's arrangement. They appreciated all of this. And then now in today's verse, so now requesting Lord, please appear. So here Prabhupada in purport says, that the devotees are always eager to see the Supreme Perceived Godhead in his original form. So this is very important. So how do we see Supreme Lord? And we want to see in original form. Then the first line of the verse, Satam na drashtaya atmanam. So here, drashtaya, be visible. So Brahma Dev is praying to Lord Vishnu, please be visible. In what form? Atmanam, in your original form. So what does that mean? That means Lord has multiple forms. There is original form, there are innumerable forms in the form of incarnation, and of course he has a form and is also formless. And we know that there are many transcendentalists, correct? We say, impersonalists, we say Brahman realization. Then of course we talk about yogis. Yogis also trying to realize Paramatma. Then of course the devotees, they are not putting so much effort to realize Paramatma in their heart. They just come to the temple and directly see. All it takes is just 1 hour drive, 10-minute walk. If you're nearby, come here at 7 o'clock, you take a direct darshan. So you don't have to do tapas for millions of years just like yogis. So in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Sutta Swami also says in one of the verses in first canto, that this realization by Tattvavadis means the transcendentalist. So how do they realize? So there is a statement, it says, Brahmeti Parameti Bhagavaniti Shabdate. So Brahmeti means Brahman. So this Brahman realization is what we call impersonal Brahmans. So this is the effulgence of Supreme Perceived Godhead. When the Lord, stands from his bodily effulgence that comes, so that is called Brahman. So who are trying to realize this Brahman? Usually those who are following path of Jnana Yoga, Jnanis. Like those who want to become experts in Upanishads. So they are the one who try to realize Supreme Lord in the form of Brahman. They say Brahman is everything. Everything emanates from Brahman. when the Brahman comes to the material world, he assumes a form. So that is how the view. So this is what Prabhupada called Mayavadis. And that is the first level of realization. Then a little more higher level of realization is by yogis. Those who are engaged in meditation, Ashtanga yogis, they like to realize, Supreme Lord as Super Soul. The Super Soul realization. That's what you call Parameti. Brahmeti, Parameti. So this is like a localized Super Soul within us. It is actually partial representation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Partial representation, not full. And finally, the highest realization is by devotees. That's what Bhagavan realization. So Bhagavan realization, so by devotees. Devotees are not interested in, this Brahman effulgence, nor they are interested in realizing Supreme Lord in their heart. They are mostly interested in serving Lord. Whom do you serve? You can't serve the light. Maximum you can cleave a bulb, correct? If you want to serve this light, you can stare it continuously. What service you can offer? Apart from cleaning that bulb, if it is dirt, maybe you can connect to the energy. That's all you can do. But you can't do personal service. Nor you can do personal service to Super Soul. You can only meditate on Super Soul. But you are not able to offer, neither take direct shelter of their lotus feet, nor offer some service to lotus feet, nor offer any bhoga to Supreme Lord. You can't do much. But whereas when the Lord is in his original form, Bhagavan, Satchidananda, then you can offer some services. So this is a realization at 3 different levels. The highest and the most easiest level realization is Bhagavan realization. So there are lots of analogies how to relate this. So when you see, for example, morning, bright sunlight, what we see? We see sunshine. Then we see the sun globe, correct? When you wake up and when there is a sunlight, you see, okay, sunshine is there, okay, morning has happened. Then when you go out and observe on the sky, you might see sun globe, correct? But of course, if you are able to somehow go inside the sun globe, you will see sun god. So this is this seeing sunshine is something like impersonal Brahman. Then the seeing sun globe is something like realizing Paramatma. Then of course, if you can manage to go inside the sun globe, then there you will come across the Surya Dev. So the deity responsible for this whole this sunshine, sun globe and all that is responsible. In one sense they all are similar, but the different levels. So they one depend on other. So that's the one of the way of seeing. Actually Prabhupada also gives other analogy. So some of you might have went to this Tirumala hill, which is called Saptagiri. How many of you visited Tirupati? So some of you visited Tirupati, very nice. So this is in Andhra Pradesh, in South India. So Tirupati, let's say you are going to Tirupati and you are around 60, 70 or 80 kilometers away from Tirupati. So this Tirupati is called Saptagiri. So means 7 hills. From the far distance, 60 kilometers away, what do you see? Even though there are 7 big hills, you only see something like a cloudy, correct? So just like a big cloud there. But as you go closer and closer and closer, something like say another 15 kilometers or 10 kilometers, you can clearly see, oh, there are 3 or 7 mountains are there. But if you go even closer, go in the mountain itself, on the mountain. There you see the trees and deer, sometimes tigers also. Anybody has seen tigers in Tirupati hill? No, but some people have seen tigers, correct? So I don't know after that whether they survived or not, but there is a danger. But anyway, so if you are strong enough, you can fight with tiger. There are personalities. Vikramaditya has fought with a tiger and become successful. But many of us may not be. Tiger is very powerful, unless it is a vegetarian. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has seen tiger in Jharkhand forest. He was passing through Jharkhand forest, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he was singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Not only singing and also dancing. And all these tigers, elephants, deers, dogs, whatever, all those forest animals, they also started dancing. They didn't, oh, here is a nice person, let's eat, have a food, nice lunch. No, they didn't do that. Instead, they were transformed. So that is the power of the greatest devotees and Lord, who can transform even the tigers into devotees. So when you enter into this hill, so you see all of them. Not only that, if you walk a little bit up, and you will also see Lord Venkateswara, and you will see, of course, many devotees there. So similarly here, just seeing that the mountain from far distance is very much like Brahman effulgence. You don't see, there is, of course, it is there, it is true. But it's not full, partial representation, very partial, the first level realization, because you are far away from the Lord. And when you go closer and closer, you see mountains. So yes, there is something like real, more real, becoming very clear. That is Paramatma realization. Then when you go inside in the mountain, there you see devotees, you see all animals, you see trees, you see Supreme Lord Himself. That is Bhagavan realization. So this is higher. That means you are more closer and more closer, most closer. So therefore this is called first class realization, highest transcendental is. So this is how you realize. Then of course, often people want to know, who is this Bhagavan? Is Bhagavan someone with big beard, old man? Sometimes people claim, okay, I have done tapas for quite some time, 100 years, 200 years. So during tapas, we don't have time to do morning shaving and all that. Correct? You're continuously doing tapas. The beard is growing. So maybe you realize you get some Ashtasiddhis. With that Ashtasiddhis, you can actually see what is happening in the world. Maybe if you are thirsty, you can create a water also. Correct? You can create a water and drink. These are Ashtasiddhis. You can have. Sometime as a result, people claim themselves to be Bhagavan. But Bhagavan cannot be manufactured. You cannot manufacture by your own whims, your own abilities and Ashtasiddhis. Bhagavan is Bhagavan. So he is Adi Purusha. So of course in Vishnu Purana, so this Bhagavan, Bhaga means opulence. One means one who possesses his opulence. One who possesses all the opulences to 100% perfect. Such person is Bhagavan. And there is of course very clear definition. He says, Aishwaryasya samagrasya. Aishwarya, opulence, samagra, all opulences. One who owns all the opulences. Who can own? Can I own all the opulences? Can I own all the opulences of this Australia? Can I have all the wealth of this whole earthly planet? No, no one can have it. Today I might be having, say, maximum 1 million, but there's always somebody who has 100 million. Then you will find somebody else has $1 trillion. Like this, different people have got it. But there is not one person who possesses all the wealth. If anyone who possesses, who becomes owner of all the wealth of the universe, such a person is Bhagavan. So here, so that is one of the first character of this Bhagavan. So next is Virasya Shreya. Virya. Virya means strength, bodily strength. The Krishna, when he was a small 3-month baby, he was able to kill Putana, demon, very powerful demon who came to pretend like a mother and to feed Krishna. But Krishna has sucked her vital energy and killed. At 3 age 3. And 3 months, actually not 3. And then at the age of 5, 6 or 8, he was able to lift Govardhan hill simply by his one finger. Who can do that? Just to sometime we need to lift that Vyasasana where Prabhupada is sitting. So many devotees together have to just lift on Vyasasana. But whereas Krishna was able to lift that Govardhan hill. So such a power, who can have? One who has such power, that person is Bhagavan. Then of course, Yasyasya, not only so powerful, but is also famous all over spiritual world and the material world. Not just our universe, there are millions and millions of universes in material world. So he is well known all of those places. So each of those was, managed by Brahmadev. Each universe has a Brahma. And so this Brahma says, Iswara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So the Brahmaji himself is saying, Iswara Parama Krishna. So this supreme controller is Krishna. He is Govinda. And he is Satchidananda. He is always blissful. And Satchidananda form, that original form. Satchidananda form. So Lord Brahma recognized that form. Then of course he recognized that as a Satchidananda, such a form. And well, famous all across. Then Sriya, the beauty. So here we talk about, oh Lord, please show us your lotus-like face. Mukhamujam, the lotus-like face. So the most beautiful. So we have many stories where even the non-devotees, just by having glance of Supreme Lord, they were so much attracted. So not only his face is lotus-like, but his eyes, Kamalanayana, so beautiful. Then of course he is full of knowledge. Who can, explain Bhagavad Gita or teach Bhagavad Gita to devotee like Arjuna within 30 minutes? In the Kurukshetra war, not like they have got 8 days to speak about Bhagavad Gita. No. The war is about to begin. Pandavas, Sarvis and Kauravas, Samis are there. And maximum you may have around 15 minutes, 20 minutes you can drag. You can delay. So within that 30 minutes, Krishna is able to explain the whole Bhagavad Gita. Who can do that? Only one who is full of jnana. Otherwise, even just for one verse, we have to constantly refer to that one. Correct? Even though we repeated this verse how many times? I repeated 5 times. Then Prabhu repeated 2-3 times. Then that means 10 times you repeated. Now you close your eyes and ask us to remember. I don't know how many of us remember any words. Correct? Our memory is limited. Even though we may get some meaning, but memory is limited, we won't be able to repeat. Whereas Krishna can do it because he is the most knowledgeable. And above all, even though he is the owner of all the words, he is the creator of all the words. Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, Mata Sarvam Parvatate. Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. So I am the source of spiritual word and the material word. Yet he is not attached to it. Who can be of that level? Only one who is completely renounced. So such a person who has got all the 6 qualities, full 100%, such a person is Bhagavan. So in the Shastra we say, Krishnastu Swayam Bhagavan. So Krishna is the Swayam 100% Bhagavan. Of course, we Bhagavan word we also used to refer to Bhagavan Narayan. So sometimes we say one Bhagavan Shiva. Sometimes even for devotees also in Shastra says Bhagavan Narada. When we are also little Bhagavan, little tiny spark. But anyway, so Lord Krishna has all these 6 appearances full 100%, only Lord Krishna. Lord Narayana has 94%. Of course, our Lord Shiva has 84%. Correct? In exam, one who got 100% is the topmost. Nobody can equal or higher than him. Correct? Then there are personalities who get 94, 95 marks, 94. Lord Narayana has 94%. Whereas Shivji has 84%. 80% is very good. Correct? We all know that. To getting 84% marks in our exam is not easy. Most of them try to get 35 marks. And most of them who got 35 marks, for mercy only. Correct? They might have got 32, 33, 34, 34.5. Then they say, let's give some grace mark and put them, just pass them. Okay? so that they can feel themselves pass and Bhagavan, I am also Bhagavan. Have little. Sometimes we also have little money, little beauty, and that beauty also, fades with time. We are on the control of time. Time is Krishna's energy, correct? So from the babyhood, there are some babies here. Today, here is one small baby, maybe around 5-6 years, correct? So with time, so we choose youthhood, then of course, then slowly, old age will creep in. But Krishna is not subjected to those. Is Krishna subjected to the time factor like us? No. He is always Navayavana, always 16-year-old. That's why you see on Bhagavad Gita, when you see the cover, Krishna looks very youthful. At that time, at Kurukshetra War, he was already grandfather, great-great-grandfather. And he had 16,108 wives. Who can maintain 16,108? Anybody here? Everybody is struggling to maintain one wife. Correct? That if you are lucky. Otherwise, impossible. Not only that, he has built so many palaces, each one palace for each wife. Not only that, he expanded himself. You can see Krishna in each of the palace. Correct? Sometimes people marry 2 or 3. Then it's very struggle. Very struggle. Everybody says, you come to my room. Then how can he expand? Not possible. That is where quarrel begins among the wives and co-wives, and then danger occurs. But anyway, Krishna, so such a person is Bhagavan. So only Krishna can do that. So those are the qualities Krishna has. And all the, Shastras and the devotees, great personalities, such as Narada Muni and various other Yamaraj, all of them accept Krishna as the Supreme Bhagavan. Of course, you see people these days doing research on who is God. They keep on doing research, and this research is already done by all the personalities. We simply accept. That's what devotees do. So devotees don't want to waste their time. So they accept the Shastra's, teaching, and Brahmaji also accepted that. So why this Brahmaji is saying that, oh Lord, please show us, Asmat Karana Gocharam. He's saying that. What does it mean? Did Brahma not see Supreme Lord Vishnu? This is a question to be asked. Actually, according to up to that point, that up to 6th Manu, it seems Brahma has not seen Supreme Lord face to face. Of course, he has read Vedas, so all the Shastras. He got those Shastras from Lord directly into his heart. So he has that knowledge. From knowledge only he is able to, he knows that there is Lord, but he has not seen himself. So even the Brahma. So seeing Lord is not easy. So this is something very important. So that is why, of course you can see God everywhere. But who can see? You need to have a qualification. Only those who are qualification, they can see. Those who are truly Panditas, those Munis can see it. Not everyone. Such as, for example, Prahlad Maharaj. In the previous canto 7, the science of God. So there was a lot of several chapters discuss about this Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, appearance of Lord Narasimhadev, the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj was able to see Supreme Lord everywhere. On the other hand, his father Hiranyakashipu, who was ruling the entire universe, he cannot see. So that means we have to have a qualification. Our eyes need to be qualified. Otherwise we can't see, unless there is a qualification. So there is a signal going on here. Can anybody see this mobile signal? We can't see. But who can hear it? Your mobile. Because mobile is qualified to be able to hear that frequency. This is a force, this is energy. Energy is going. We can't see. There are a lot of things we can't see. There are billions of microbes are there in this temple. We can't see. But if you bring a special microscope and watch very carefully, you can see. So our eyes are not ready, not conditioned, not qualified to see them. So Prabhupada says, all the Shastras say that when we develop that love of God, at that time our eyes are qualified, you can see Supreme Lord. So in fact, Prabhupada Gurudev, that is Bhakti Siddhanta Sote Goswami Maharaj. If you have not seen him, you can see him on the picture. The first Prabhupada. Next is Bhakti Siddhanta Sote Goswami Maharaj. So Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj, he says, you don't try to see God. Just act in such a way that God will see you. So this is a very profound statement. Prabhupada is saying, Bhakti Siddhanta Sote Goswami Maharaj, he is saying, you don't try to see God. You act in such a way that God like to see you. So this is a very good instruction. How do you act? Do I need to make some drama so that Krishna will come and see my drama? Maybe. So if you are able to engage in bhakti, to glorify Supreme Lord, to serve Supreme Lord, not only serve Supreme Lord devotees, that is one more easier. If you just serve your spiritual master, say if you do offer service to Prabhupada, with Prabhupada's recommendation, Krishna will come and see us. That's more easier. With our own effort, we may have to work hard for billions of lifetime. Maybe because of Sukruti, Krishna might want to say, oh, this person is doing good service for billions of lifetime. Let me come and see what he is doing now. But if you do the same thing, instead of that, if you do small service to Prabhupada, small service to a spiritual master, your teachers, then by their mercy you can see Supreme Lord. So by bhakti only. So that's easy. Even if you want to see a president of a country or a prime minister of a country, you can't say, hey Modi, come here, I want to see you. Can Modi come here? He's not obliged. But if you act in such a way that Modi will come and see. For example, you go and win 10 gold medals in Olympics today. Modi will personally fly to Paris to come and congratulate you in person. So you have to act. Since nobody has won gold medals for India in Olympics. And if someone wins 10 gold medals, and everybody is obliged, even Drupadi Murmu also will come. What to speak of Modi? Correct? Even here also in Australia. So sometime, some teams win, and then this Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony, he personally, watches TV. I think there was something people talk about Matilda. They win some 4 medals like that. So personally they are seeing. So that is why here in our case, in the bhakti, just because you become a Lord Brahma, doesn't mean that Krishna will appear to give you darshan. No. Just because you become a Indra, Mahendra, right? You have a position as the Indra of heavenly planet in this universe. So Krishna may not be visible. So only by bhakti Krishna is visible. Bhakti. So there are many instances where this is true. Even simple example, let's say you are working for some company. So if you just want to see the CEO of their company, not possible. There are so many layers to pass through finally to see him. But if you do some unique service to that company, and that owner and CEO become impressed, and he will come to your desk himself to pat on your back. Just try this. Wherever you are working, if you are working for somebody else in the material world in Melbourne, so if you do excellent service, and that company CEO, the company owner will personally come and pat you. And someday, suppose he is retiring, he might say, there are no children to take over my company, no other people are worthy, and he will give their company to you. You are the next owner of this company. We have many examples. You heard about this Oberoi hotel, chain of hotels, Oberoi, one of the richest person in India. But earlier, he was just an attendant in a hotel. But he was offering such a dedicated service, the owner became impressed. He said, okay, you take this hotel. You don't have to be a simple worker here. So therefore, the dedication is necessary, devotion is necessary. So similarly, when we devote to Supreme Lord Krishna, Krishna will come and see us. He will give darshan. That's what happened in case of Prahlad case. Prahlad was subjected to so many torture, so many trouble by his own father. Prahlad can see Supreme Lord everywhere. But whereas Hiranyakashipu, not able to see. So you can see he is able to come to protect, give a darshan. So this is all possible only with devotion. So it's very, very important. So now coming to this verse, Lord Brahma says, Prapananam didrikshunam. Prapananam. He is saying that we are all surrendered to you. So they are now saying, Oh Lord, we are devoted to you, we know your glory, and we are surrendered to you. So they are just saying word by surrender. But surrender is very important. Krishna says, Sarva dharma parityajya mama em saranam urja. Krishna has explained karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, finally bhakti yoga. All of this he explained. And his opulence also. How you can see Krishna, his opulence. He explained so many things. But finally he said, Oh Arjuna, don't worry all of that. Forget about all the things that I told you. Just surrender to me. So what does surrender means? Not sitting idle. Correct? Like sometimes people say in the war, oh, we surrender to you. Then okay, no problem, they will stop the war and they will take you and put you into jail. Because you can't trust the people of material world. Correct? Very difficult to trust. So therefore they put in a jail. But those who are truly surrender, they will not put him in jail. They will make them part of their citizen, their country. They become a citizen and they were taken care very nicely. And these people are also offering very good service to the country. In the same way. So when we surrender to Krishna, it means we are surrendered to the teachings of Krishna and we are going to follow those teachings in our life and offer service to Krishna, offer service to the devotees. And of course, offering service to Krishna means we are remembering Krishna all the time. Manmana mad bhakta. So we are becoming devotees, remembering him, offering him worship. Madhyaji. Correct? We offer him worship. So we do all those sevas. So that is what. If you do those, then you can say truly surrendered. Otherwise, just mere word will not satisfy Krishna. That is why Jnanis are the perfect Vedantis. They know all the Vedas perfectly. They know all the Upanishads perfectly. They even know all the verses of Bhagavad Gita perfectly. Jnanis. But because they don't know Krishna personally, so therefore they misunderstand. Sometimes so much of jnana they got, slowly they think themselves as Brahman. They say we want to merge into impersonal Brahman. That means we become one with Krishna. We want to become Krishna. We prefer Krishna serve us rather than we serving Krishna. So that is what happens with excessive jnana. So it is very important that we develop bhakti rather than jnana. In fact, jnana will not save us at last breath of our life. Adi Shankaracharya, he is a celebrated impersonalist, well known. But however, at later part of the life, Adi Shankaracharya appreciated Supreme Lord a lot. In fact, his last composition, Bhaja Govindam. So Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, Samprapte Saniti Kale, Nahi Nahi Raksiti Dukran Karane. He is saying that Dukran Karane, your Sanskrit scholarship will not save you at the last breath of life. Samprapte Saniti Kale. Nahi Nahi Raksiti. Nahi Nahi means no Raksiti, no Rakshane, no protection. What cannot give protection? That your Sanskrit scholarship, your Vedic knowledge, expert in Vedas will not save you. What can save you? Only Bhaja Govindam. He is just saying, just sing glory of Govinda, sing glory of Govinda. So that is what they are emphasizing. So by doing so, they can, do that. Even here we talk about, this Mukha Bhojam. So they like to see the beautiful, form of Lord. In fact, later you will see in the next chapter of this Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, so this Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva and all the Devatas, they did get darshan of Supreme Lord. What did they see? When the Lord appeared, they didn't see him seem like Hiranyakashipu. nor like Nrsimhadev. They saw beautiful lotus-like face of Lord Vishnu. Of course, they, as I said, they also saw Kamala Nayanam. So Supreme Lord, his eyes are like a Kamala Nayanam. Beautiful. So why we compare to lotus? Because in this earthly planet or in this universe, the most beautiful flower is the lotus. Even though it may appear in a dirty mud, but it is very beautiful. Doesn't matter where it appears. Whether you grow in the temple or any other dirty place, wherever you grow, that Kamala is always beautiful, not only beautiful, aromatic. You take this, the beautiful, the best Kamala, and then bring near your nose, or not even near nose, even if it is offered to hand of Prabhupada, from there you can get smell. Sometimes artificially grown these lotuses, they don't smell that much. They may look nice, but they don't smell. But those who are organically grown, naturally grown, they are not beautiful and smell so nice, so attractive. Kamala Nayan. And of course, Supreme Lord, when he appeared, he has Shankha, so he had Chakra, he had Gada. Then of course, jewel, beautiful jewel, Kastuba, jewel, so representing goddess of wealth, necklace, and even his cheek, So Krishna Lord is wearing a necklace, all this ornament. So his cheeks are decorated with those ornaments also. They see beautiful with the belt, his lotus feet, they saw. So that is the first time this Brahma has seen. Because this Brahma, by the way, is a position. In some universe, you might be a Brahma. I was told that during so some of this festival, Damodara, that festival, there are some the devotees, the kids in particular. So when you offer candle, then you give to them, they collect the candle, put it there. All those who are offering their services, it seems in their future life, they are either going to become Indra position or Brahma position. Because you are offering their service, so Krishna recognizes, Radha Vallabha is looking at them, especially Jagannath is looking at them, because usually it is put at there at the end, and then there the kids are taking and nicely putting there your candles. Sometimes they compete also. That means they want to become Indra quickly, some of them. They may not be aware. You don't have to know about this. You do service. Oh, you want to do the best service, somehow you want to compete among yourself, no problem. Best service is Indra position. Because once you become Indra, your position is always precarious. Any demon will come, want to fight with you, take over your position. So always worried about your position. So anyway, these services. So Jagannath will see you and he will recognize you. And Jagannath, of course, has a lotus. You see, Jagannath is like a lotus and eyes are like a lotus and big, and he is watching. So he is seeing you. So because of your service. If you don't do service, no, Krishna will not see you. So this is very important that we just offer service and attract Krishna's attention. Of course, you don't have a desire to attract Krishna's attention. You don't have to do that. You don't do thinking that let Krishna come and see how great service I am doing. No. Just do a service out of love. And Krishna also out of love he will come and see you. So that is very, very important. Then of course this Kamala Nayan. So not only Brahma likes to see Supreme Lord, the gopis always desire to see Supreme Lord. If you open up the Canto 10, which is all about Krishna and gopis, so there this lotus-like face word, this Kamala Ambujam, comes so many places. Literally, every few words you come across this. So these gopis, in the 10th canto, so they are saying that, oh Supreme Lord, you are the one who can destroy suffering of people of Vraja, that Vrindavan. And then you are a hero of all women. In the Vrindavan, who is the hero? There are millions of heroines, all these gopis, millions and billions. And their hero is Krishna. He married all of them. Even the sannyasis, for sannyasis, husband is Krishna. Everyone is married, by the way. Everyone wants to offer some service to somebody. So sannyasis want to offer service to Supreme Lord. Therefore they are married to Krishna. They consider Krishna as their husband. Just like some Matajis will say, this person is my husband. But all of them consider Krishna as, he is the supreme father, supreme husband ultimately of everyone. And so they are saying that you are the one who can shatter our false pride. These gopis were thinking we are the most beautiful. But who can shatter their pride? Only Krishna. And they are also saying that you are our dear friend. Please accept us as your maid servant and then show us your beautiful face, your lotus face. Kamala Nayana, Kamala. Yeah, so always they prefer to see the gopis. Then of course Krishna will he show them? Oh, he has shown them in Vrindavan. Krishna is always in Vrindavan. So in the mood of suppression they were praying to Krishna like this. Then Krishna appears. So Krishna appears to them. So then they become very smiling. So many times. So sometimes gopis look at this Krishna's lotus face without blinking eyes. In fact, they curse Brahmaji. Why did this Brahma create these eyelids? We are seeing Krishna, Radha Vallabha, every few more seconds we just close our eyelids, correct? So gopis are saying, what is this Brahma? They are cursing. He created these eyelids. Because of him, we are missing to see Krishna, several times in a minute. Because we do blink, 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 right? So we can't stay continuously, we can't see. So maybe by luck you might see, then suddenly we close. So they are cursing, like that. Of course, with sometimes devotees perform tapas for material gain. Sometimes, for example, Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj, you all know the story of Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj was a Kshatriya, small boy of around 6-7 years. And he determined that he wanted a kingdom, bigger than his father. Because father was, showing more partiality to his another son. So this Uttamapada, father of Dhruva, so he had 2 wives. And one elder, other is younger. So he had little bit fascination for younger wife. Maybe because she was more beautiful. That's what the Shastra says. So because of that, he was also having a bit more favoritism to his other son. Whereas the Dhruva was from the first wife, so he didn't pay much attention to him. So therefore, one day anyway, so this the brother of Dhruva was sitting on the lap of Uttanapada. Then he also developed desire. Oh, my younger brother is sitting on lap. Why don't I also go and sit down on the lap? He goes there. At that time, the younger wife, she came and said, "Hey Dhruva, who do you think you are? Get out from here." So he was crying and went to his mother and asked him, "What do I do?" He says, "Oh, go and pray to Supreme Lord." He says, "Who's Supreme Lord?" He doesn't know. Anyway, he just simply started going to forest like a Kshatriya, determined with full determination. On the way, he come across Narada Muni. Narada Muni says, "Oh, you are a small boy. Why you want to do such a struggle in the forest? Go and enjoy in the kingdom, palace." But he said, No. I want to do this tapas to win favor from Supreme Lord. So anyway, Narada gave instruction how to do tapas. He has done tapas and he has continuously did Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Like this for 6 months, continuous. So Lord was impressed and he appeared in front of him. Then he is stunned. He doesn't know what to do, what to say. Then Supreme Lord took his conch and touched to his head. The moment he touched his conch to the head, so he gained all the knowledge. He gained so much of knowledge. Then he started praying, "Oh Supreme Lord, I was simply doing the suppers and the prayers to get broken piece of glass." Imagine somebody thrown a glass and one broken piece. Imagine you are praying for 6 months meditation. Can I become owner of this piece of glass? But when you see Supreme Lord, I don't need anything. So Dhruva considered having a kingdom bigger than his father is simply like a broken piece of glass. Like sometimes we work so hard to earn some money. We worked extremely hard. harder, not satisfied with whatever we earn. Even if we become premier of this state, not satisfied. Even if we become prime minister of this Australia, not satisfied. Correct? People you see, sometimes people become president of America, but not satisfied. They still want to continue. They do all kinds of things. So we see all the problem going on. So person, in this world, nobody can be satisfied. Whether you are Brahma, position, or a small, insignificant ant. All of them are suffering for wants of so many desired satisfaction. And they cannot be satisfied. You can see, so Dhruva Maharaj has come across Lord face to face. And there is one story, with that I will conclude. Once, usually Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana, so lying, said that at the time you see the goddess of wealth, Lakshmi Devi, offering service to Lord Narayana. What is the service? Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. Pada Sevanam, well known is Lakshmi. So she is doing offering Pada Seva, maybe sometime massaging the lotus feet of Narayana. So one day, so Narayana is smiling humorously. Smiling, very humorously smiling. So all these goddesses were thinking, what is going on? What is the cause of this smile? So they asked Lord, please tell us, you are today so much of smiling lotus fate. So here, Brahma wanted to be not a lotus fate, but they want to smiling lotus face. So that time, what actually happened was, so in, one Brahmana who was very poor. So not all Brahmanas are rich, very poor. And this very poor Brahmana, so he was expert in doing meditation, and he heard that you can actually, because he was very poor, he is not able to perform opulent worship of Supreme Lord. But he heard, we can do this worship of Supreme Lord opulently in the mind only. He is not able to build any temple, not even have sufficient money to go and acquire one deity. You also need to spend some money to get one deity, right? You have to pay money to the best sculpture. Unless you are such a great devotee, you will have a Swayambhu Krishna who appears for you. It happened, for some of the devotees. Radharamana temple, when you go, so there you see small Radharamana, he is a Swayambhu. He appeared by his own sweet will. But all other places we have to spend money and get it from Jaipur or some place and offer prana pratishtha through that idol. Then it becomes a deity after prana pratishtha seva. So deity. So whereas this Brahmana was not able to do that. So because he heard that you can do all of this in mind, so he thought this is a great idea. Where was this Brahmana? So the Shastras, Brahma Vivarta Purana, that means this happened long back. In that Purana, this story is given. So this Brahmana, so is from South India, it seems. Not just South India, from Andhra. So there was so he talked about this, this Brahmana. So the place. So this place was actually between Godavari river and Krishna river. How many have you seen this Godavari river? It's one of the biggest river in India, apart from Ganga, correct? Godavari. Then also Krishna river. Not Krishna. Krishna. Krishna is male name. Krishna is female. Mataji's name. Krishna. So usually rivers are named after, Mataji's. Correct? Kaveri, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, and like Narmada. So hardly any. There is one Brahmaputra. How many of you seen Brahmaputra? Yeah, Brahmaputra. You go to Assam. Correct? So there you see a Brahmaputra river. But Brahmaputra can be sometimes comes with so much of flood and then washes that whole cities and all that. So Brahmaputra river is there, just one. But otherwise, majority of them, all the holy rivers are named after, Prakriti one thing. So in that place, Godavari, so that the name of the city, I'm trying to remember, what was it? Anyway, so this city was between Godavari river and Krishna river, and it seemed that city was the capital city of that Andhra state at that time. Andhra, of course, became big, and then Telangana, like that. Then they split now. But anyway, so between those two rivers, this place. So this Brahmana was started doing meditation. In his meditation, so imagine in meditation, so he imagines that he has built a very opulent temple. Imagine you see opulent Radha Vallabha temple, not like small street, just a big street, then big welcoming gate. In front, Jaya Vijay is standing with their Gada. Then you go royally, come inside, come along with you, today's the dresses, the beautiful dresses, and then go and offer dress to Radha Vallabha very beautifully, the best dress on the entire earth. You offer best. Then after that, you go to Indraloka and get Vajayanti Mala, then make beautiful malas, one for Radha, Krishna, one for Krishna, one for Radha, one for Gaurita, one for Jagannatha Baladev Subhadra. Like this you offer very beautifully. Then you take do arati, not simple, like, just like they perform arati in where? In Ganga Puja in Varanasi. How many of you seen Ganga Puja? Yeah. So they beautifully offer, so nicely, so with style, correct? So like that, offer a... so like that, offered, he is doing all of this in his mind. This Brahmin, he is doing all this puja in mind, offering arati and feels satisfied. Then he comes out, then offers obeisance. Then, of course, he is also, after that, what to do? Then he personally cleans the temple, just like after our Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class is over, somebody comes and cleans the temple. Cleaning is the greatest seva. Krishna will recognize you for that especially. Correct? So if outside is not that clean, you go and do clean also. So clean the temple very beautifully. He is doing all this seva in his mind. Like this seva continued for thousands of years. Because this was in Satya Yuga. That time people used to live lakhs of years. Hundreds of thousands of years. So he did so many sevas. But one day he thought he will make a special sweet rice. So in his mind, he acquired all the sweet rice. And of course, to make a sweet rice, you need a sugar, you need a water. He thought he will fetch water from, not only from that Godavari river. In the mind, he went to Manasa Sarovara, Ganga water. Then he went to Kaveri, then he went to Narmada, then he went to Prayag. There he is able to get Yamuna river, Ganga water, Saraswati water, and he dipped inside and get the water. For that you need a water pot. His water pots were made from gold. In the mind only. He has made a special pot made up of gold, some of them brass, some of them silver. Like this he made and brought water from all the places. Then sugar, then he made a nice ghee. Just like you cook in Radha, our kitchen here. So he made very nicely in the mind only. Imagine the mind. Then he wanted to offer it to Radha Vallabha. So usually it seems the sweet rice is very tastier when it is little bit cold, not too hot. So he wanted to offer, but he thought if he, maybe if he offers like this without knowing what the heat, even the tongue of Lord may burn. Imagine you try to take hot, then you put into tongue, it can burn. Especially if you are eating the spoon. You take spoon and put it, it is very hot and burns the tongue. So that is one of the reasons why usually in India, Vedically, they try to take the food from the hand and eat. If it is not burning hand, that means it's okay to eat. So this is one of the reasons. People ask, why do Indians eat with hand? Because they eat fresh food. They don't, usually Vedically, they didn't have a fridge. They make fresh, eat within half an hour, 1 hour. So it's supposed to be hot food. So anyway, so he wanted to check how hot it is. Is it suitable for Supreme Lord to accept now this bhoga? So out of curiosity, he put his hand into like this. Imagine this is a sweet rice. He put hand into here. suddenly burnt. Then he opened eyes and sees he has indeed burnt. Even though this is imaginary sweet rice, imaginary hot sweet rice, he put finger in an imaginary pot and still got burnt. So this incident was observed by Lord Narayana and he was smiling humorously. So that means by your seva, you can attract attention of Supreme Lord. Not only Supreme Lord, lotus feet, but also with smiling, which was so difficult even for Brahma. The Brahma did so much of tapas. Through that tapas, only he gained this Vedic knowledge. Whereas this Brahman didn't do in real, but only in imaginary. So therefore, Krishna will accept your seva, whether it is physical, gross, or in the mind. That is why he is saying that man mana mad bhakta. You can become my bhakta simply by remembering in my mind. Even you can become bhakta simply by dreaming Krishna in, how many of you have got Krishna in your dream? Some deities in your dream. Or visiting a temple in a dream, which you never visited such a temple. Yes, see Mataji got it. How do you get this? Only when, just before you sleep, chant Hare Krishna mantra, or read one verse of Bhagavad Gita, or take one story from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and obviously these are like a sleeping pill, correct? Chanting is like a sleeping pill, then reading books is a sleeping pill. While reading, you just fall asleep. No problem. Because you fall asleep while reading the Leela of Krishna, and it is most likely that day dream will be Krishna will appear, or the Krishna deity will appear, or some incident related to Krishna will come. Krishna or God. Correct? This is. But if you don't do this, what happens? Only horror stories. So it's very nice that you can remember God and then remember Krishna. Just chant, read some story, and you can achieve the success. Anyway, to conclude, the devotees, just like Brahma, they are very eager to have darshan of Supreme Lord in his original form. They are not interested in Brahman effulgence, nor they are interested in becoming like a yogi and see super soul. They are only interested in original form. Original form, the lotus-like face, lotus eyes, and who is Sat Chit Ananda, who is full of bliss. And by simply having such original form darshan, they also derive huge pleasure. And of course, they are mostly interested in seva, anyablita sunyam. So they are the first class devotees. First class devotees are one, they have no other desire other than serving Krishna. So in that serving, they derive so much of joy. That is one of the reasons why you see devotees are always happy. Even though they may not have a big balance, they may not have a big house, so they may not have a big education from Melbourne University or Stanford University or Indian Institute of Science. They may be educated somewhere in a small place, but they are very blissful. They are jumping and dancing. So morning during Kirtan, Guru Puja, when I came, I saw even the kids were jumping and dancing. They were jumping and dancing. I feel they are jumping so much, they are going to catch Vaikuntha Loka. It is possible. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, imagine at last birth of life you are jumping Hare Krishna, like this you jump, you have give up a body. And you are already in Vaikuntha. In the next moment you are Vaikuntha, no Yamadutas, no Yamaraj coming across on your way. Straight forward. And there are some devotees achieved such success. There was one Maharaj, Gaur Govind Maharaj. So he was giving Śrīmad Bhāgavatam lecture in Mayapur. Then suddenly he says, Kirtan, Hare Krishna, like this, give up a body. So he went back to Vaikuntha Loka. It is possible. Anyway, we need to develop that, have that practice. Even we heard about other story earlier, Ajamil. Ajamil, the most sinful person on earthly planet. Such a person, last breath of life, he said, Narayana. Actually, he was not calling his Lord Narayana, he is calling his son, the last son Narayana. At the age of 79, he had one son also. Imagine. So that too, that from a prostitute, not from a wife. From other prostitute, he had the son. But he says, Narayana, when Yamadusas came, because of that, Vishnudusas came and later he went back to Vaikuntha Lokas. It's very powerful. So devotees simply chant holy name of Lord, not only chanting, but also doing some services. So their life is fully centered around offering service to Krishna. Just like this Mataji. Wherever I see, she is distributing Krishna messages. So she is a perfect, in perfected art of living by simply distributing Krishna's messages. And of course, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one who distributes this message that I told in Bhagavad Gita, and that person is the most dear to me. Not the one who does big tapas in Himalayas. Not the one who has a big position as a prime minister. But the one who says this message with others and inspire them to come back to home. And such a person is most dear. Okay, with that let me stop here. Thank you all for hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class. So perhaps now is the time for prasada. Kindly enjoy prasada. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki. There was a question.